By default, Unreal Engine gives you this mannequin to walk around in your world. In this video we are going to change this in our own character. I have an example that you can download below this video. It's called Johnny. And Johnny is a little boy with different kind of animations that we're going to import instead of this one. So let's follow along. In the content drawer, I open this up and this time I'm going to dock it in the layout because we're going to be here for a while. So in content, I'm going to go to third person. And here in blueprints, you have the one you need to change. So open this one up to viewport. We're going to change this one. Okay. So back here into content, I'm going to put this into characters. Then all characters are in the same one. Let's right click and add a new folder for this. And let's name this one Johnny. You can also name this player, whatever you like. Then right click and import to game. Okay. I saved mine on my desktop. You can download it from the course. And you get the same ones as I have right here. The first one I'm going to import here is Johnny. So open this one up. Let's have a look. We need to import a skeletal mesh and import the mesh. Not the animation of this particular one, because we're going to do this for the animations later on. And then everything else is fine and hit import. And then you see some errors. Because I renamed this one to Johnny, it's going to say that this is a bad name. But not to worry, this will work, and smoothing groups is no problem. Just relax and you can have everything right here. Now, this is already a bunch, so I'm going to filter this. So right click, new folder, and let's call this materials. So the materials and the textures I'm going to combine. To filter this out, sometimes it's on the left, sometimes it's on the right. You're going to need these three lines right here. And I'm going to filter here on material, and I'm going to also filter for texture. Then shift click on these, then click here once again to see everything once more, and now I have those ones selected. So now I have these textures, just drag them into the materials, move here, and those will be moved right there. And let's also do this for the materials, so have materials selected, move down here, move here. By the way, and if you did some programming or you want to be sure that all redirectors are synced up with our character, once this is loaded, you can go right click and fix them up. I'm going to show you right now once these shaders are finished compiling. And then we are going to create a blend space with the animations that we're going to import in and override this character that we had right here. Okay, so this is all in the materials folder. I go back to Johnny, and you can also remove these filters if you like to. So this is what I touched before. Right click and you can fix up redirectors. Let's say you added some code to this or whatever. Okay, this is the skeletal mesh. So you can see our character right here was imported. Here he is. Then we can close this one. The physics assets. So this is how it's colliding with the world. So this is fine for me. And the final one is the skeleton. So of the bones that he is made up. Okay, so all of these are good. So now that I have my skeletal mesh, I can then import the animation. So right click, import. And I got an idle animation, a jumping, a running, and a walking. By the way, I downloaded these from a Mixamo. In the bonus section of the course down below, you can see how I downloaded those, but it's free and it's pretty easy to use, so you can use any other character that you like. For example, you modeled one with Blender or Maya, or you download another one from Mixamo or any other website. The process is still the same. So, the skeleton right now is the Johnny skeleton, because it's this one. This is why I imported this one first. So leave this as this. And then this is animation. Okay. Everything else seems fine. We're going to import this one. Also this, make sure it's always applied to that skeleton. Import, import, and import. Okay, so right now we have 4 animations. And let's check them out. Okay, idle is working. By the way, I'm going to close this for now. It's a bit annoying. Jumping. You can also see how he's jumping. Okay. Running. And there's beautiful running and walking. Okay. Now, let's blend in between the idle, run, and walk state. So we don't get janky animations. For that, I'm going to go right click, animation, and I'm going to choose blend space 1D. And then select the skeleton, in this case the Johnny skeleton once more. And BS, not bullshit or something, but BS from blend space and Johnny. Okay, then open this one up. And this is the blend space. Okay, first of all, I chose a 1D because I only need the horizontal axis for the walking speed. And so I open here horizontal axis and I name this one to speed. The minimum speed is set at 0 and the maximum speed in Unreal by default is 600. You can also increase this, but by default the running speed in the Unreal is 600. So at 0 I drag in idle and then I let go. Then let's say from here he's already walking. And then the running one I put here at the end. Okay, you can still move those dots around. If you made a mistake, select the one, hit delete key. So running once more. And then when I hover this says preview, but you can hold Control and move with your mouse. You can see him blending in between the idle mode, and he slowly blends until he's walking. And if I change the speed, he goes from walking into running without any jankiness. And this is why I like to use blend spaces for this. Okay, happy with your work, hit save. And you can close this one. Now the one we are going to need is a blueprint. So right click, but not this blueprint, but under animation, choose an animation blueprint. Click this one and select the Johnny skeleton once again, hit create. And this is animation blueprint, so ABP and then Johnny. I like to keep these names simple so I can find them later on again. And I like to open this one up right here. First thing I'm going to go is you can switch between the event graph, anim graph, and go back here with these arrows. So first we need to apply some logic. So this is updated every frame, but for animations this is needed. And we're going to get the pawn owner, which is namely ourselves, so our character. First thing we're going to do is check if our character even exists. So in Unreal, type in isValid and choose the question mark, not this one, but the question mark, and click this. So this is the first thing we're going to do, because if my character doesn't exist, I don't even need to continue. Okay. Then we're going to see, we need to switch between if he's jumping or he is idling, walking, and running. So we're going to need to see if he's in the air. For that, also from this value, let go, and then get a movement component. This is the one we need. So this is all its movement, and from this we need to see if he's in the air. And for that, we're going to look for is falling. And if he is falling, we know that he is in the air, and if he is not falling, we know that he is on the ground. So right click here, and then click promote to variable, and let's name this one is in air, question mark. Or you can right click and then you can rename it like this. And then I'm going to connect from isValid to set this in air. So now we have this boolean that we can use later on. And we only need the air, but also the speed to determine the value from our blend space. So once again, also from here, drag off, get the velocity, because that is the speed. And from the velocity, drag this one up, we get the vector length. And the length, this is the number we need as our speed. So right click, promote the variable, and name this one speed. And this is float, so that's the decimal number. And connect this one up. By the way, if you somehow have crossing wires, you can move this or double click on the wire and add a reroute node just to clean things up. Okay, so our logic is fine. This one is updating to see if it is in the air and our speed. Okay, now click on the anim graph, and from result, drag this off, we're going to add a state machine. Because add new state, he's going to blend in between the different states to decide which animation is going to be applied. Hit compile, save. This gives a warning because it is empty, not to worry, double click on this to open this up. By the way, once again, you can also toggle between the breadcrumbs or the arrow back key, right there. Or back to the event graph. So I'm in the state machine, and the first one I'm going to do here is the blend space. So this is already applied to our Johnny, just drag the blend space in, and let's name this one idle, walk, run, because that's what we told it to do. Then from entry, when he starts, we want him to start in this state. And then we also have our jumping state, so drag off the arrow, click add state, and let's name this one jump. And from jump, he can also return back when he's on the ground to idle, walk, and running. So this one is already set up, but we need to double click to add the variable, because the speed will decide whether he's running, walking, or idling. So get the speed, get speed, and plug this one in, hit compile. That's all you need. By the way, you can also re-edit this if you need to, but for now this is fine for me. Go back. For jumping, let's look for our jump animation. By the way, if this is here and in preview, click on the asset browser, drag and jump, and now our animation for jumping is connected. And I also ticked loop animation because he will be looping this while he's in the air. Okay, go back. Now we need to decide the transition rules. When will he go from either walk run to jump or back? Well, that is easy in this case. Double click on this one. If he is in air, I control drag this in for short. If he is in air, we need to be in this state. Then go back. From jump back to either walk run when he's not in the air. So what you do, so in air, get in air, but this time not. And this is easy. Drag off and type not boolean. So it is not here. Then he goes back. Hit compile, save, go back. So he starts in either walk run, and if he's in air he goes to jump, and he's not in air he goes back. And this circle repeats itself. So this is all we need to do right here. So I can close this one off. Now what we need to do is go back here to content, third person, blueprints, and then this character right here, because this was the default and it's still applied. So click this one or here, mesh, character mesh, and change our character here to Johnny. Johnny's back. Okay, then use the animation blueprint and the anim class, which one is we need? ABP Johnny was the name. And then you can see him already coming alive. This is what we want. Hit compile, save, and go play and test him out for a bit. And I hit the spacebar and he's jumping. Look at it from different sides and everything is working great. One little thing, you can see him hovering a bit above the ground. To fix this, click Johnny. Let's disable snapping for this one. And let's move him down a little bit to the ground. Compile, save, and let's test this out again. Yes, this is what we need. And Johnny is walking around in our world. And our animation blueprint and our character is fine by now.